Hey everyone, and welcome to a guide for Star Renegades. This time we're going to be taking a look at camping, so let's get started. At the end of each day, and when you travel between planets, your characters set up camp, giving you the opportunity to play cards with each character that give you temporary or sometimes permanent buffs, and also improve the relationship between the characters using the cards and the characters they're used on. The number in the bottom left of each card shows its cost, and the number in the bottom right shows how many relationship points it gives. You can use up to 5 action points on cards each time you set up camp, but any unused points don't get carried over, so you use them or lose them. The most expensive cards tend to be buffs for your whole team. Each class has their own set of cards which they unlock more of as they level up. The order they're unlocked in varies slightly depending on what subclass you've picked. All of these cards can be used every time you camp, but can only be used once per camping session. However, there are some cards that you can get through gameplay that disappear after a single use and don't cost any action points, such as the Dynamic Duo card from defeating a boss and food cards. Any temporary buffs from cards tend to last for the next 2 fights, so it's worth taking this into account when you're planning what route you're going to take on a planet, as it's best to deal with the harder fights while you still have these buffs active. It's not the end of the world if you're facing a boss fight without these temporary buffs, as you're generally fine without them, but if it's just a case of changing the order you explore areas, then you might as well use the buffs for harder fights. Camping is one of the few ways you're able to restore health and armor outside of combat, so it's often better to use restoration cards rather than temporary buff cards. The most important mechanic from camping is the relationship between your party members. Every time you use a card with one character, it increases the relationship between them and the target by the amount specified on the card. Cards that target every party member tend to have a much lower relationship bonus as it applies to everyone, so in total you get roughly the same bonus as you would from a single target card. The relationship meter can reach 75 for most party members, but certain combinations of classes can go a bit further and reach 100. You go up a heart every 25 relationship points, and that unlocks a bonus depending on the classes involved, as well as giving you a bit of dialogue between them. At 1 heart, both classes get a small buff relating to the other class. For example, a saboteur gives a bonus to the time delay of their friend's attacks. At 2 hearts, both classes unlock a combination ability, which can be used once per fight and requires rage to use, but tends to be pretty powerful and combines the abilities of both classes. At 3 hearts, you unlock a better version of the buff unlocked at 1 heart. Finally, some class combinations can go a little further to reach 4 hearts, and I'll put a link in the description with a list of these combinations. Reaching 4 hearts with 2 classes romances them, unlocking a progeny or child of the 2 classes. Most of these are a new subclass for the classes involved, though you'll have to buy it from the class shop with intel at the end of a run. There are currently also 4 combinations that will unlock an entirely new class when you hit 4 hearts. For example, reaching 4 hearts with the Aegis and Enforcer will unlock the Juggernaut class. The new subclasses are very similar to the main class, but have slightly different stats or order that they unlock moves. The new classes have abilities that are linked to their 2 parents, and are generally a hybrid of the 2. You won't be able to use these new classes or subclasses until you buy them and start a new dimension. Fortunately, you only have to reach 4 hearts once to permanently unlock the new subclasses and classes. You can generally reach 4 hearts between 2 characters in a single run without putting much effort in, though getting any more than this takes a bit more planning. The best way to get relationship up is through using multiple cards with a cost of 1, even if the buffs they give aren't useful, as it allows you to quickly boost the relationship of several characters at once. It's also helpful to pick the rookie subclass at the beginning of a run if you're trying to get their relationship up, as it gives them an extra 2 relationship points for every card they use or is used on them. That's everything for this time. If you're looking for more tips and guides, then keep an eye out for my future videos, but until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.